What's up, y'all, and welcome back to Daddy's Talk. I'm your host, Robert, and today, we're going to be primarily talking about content creating as a parent. Now, it is freaking 5 a.m. on a Monday that I am recording this, and even the fact that I'm up at 5 a.m., heck, I've been up since probably 3 something, I don't know. Uh, we'll kind of go into what I need to talk about today. But before I get into all that, as always, if this is your first time here, then welcome. But if you're a returning listener and or watcher, then welcome back. Y'all know here at Dad Needs to Talk, it's all about fatherhood and family, manga, anime, and gaming. Um, so, man, y'all. I hope everybody out there is doing well. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Shout out to all the parents out there in the community, and double shout out to all the mothers. Of course, to my awesome wife, and you know, of the highest caliber as well. Even though they are no longer here, of course, I always got to give love and appreciation to my mother, my grandmother, and my sister. The trifecta of strong women who raised me in my youth and helped me get to the adult I am today. So, but yeah, shout out to my wife, like I said, all the lovely women in my family and my life, and of course all of the mothers out there in the community um, that I have met through doing this podcast and stuff. So I hope all of y'all had a wonderful Mother's Day, and much love and appreciation to all of y'all. So, like I said, today I'm primarily talking about content creation from a parent's point of view. I might, depending on how time goes, because once it hits 6 o'clock in about an hour, I gotta be gone to work. But for now, we'll just talk a little bit. Like if time permits, maybe I might, mention some stuff I might have been watching, reading, or whatever briefly in passing. But we'll see when we cross that bridge. Now, before I start diving into that topic, I do want to just say in general, life has been pretty solid overall. One thing I do want to say, if there are some new people here, then super welcome to all of y'all. Uh, I don't know what's been happening. I don't know if the algorithm gods has been blessing me lately. But I've picked up a handful of subscribers on the YouTube channel for the video version of all my stuff, and then on the podcast side, the audio feeds and stuff have been going kind of crazy lately. Like almost daily, I've been checking my numbers here and there. Definitely nowhere near like I used to, like I've talked about in the past. But lately, because I've been recording stuff on the side and just like uploading stuff for future releases or whatever. And every time I log on and I see the numbers, I'm like, what? Who? How are y'all finding me? Especially because like the last month or so until like literally the last like week or two, I kind of slowed down on a lot of stuff. But hey, I appreciate y'all for taking the time to come by and check me out and stuff. But yeah, so the reason why this topic kind of came up, so we're kind of, school is about to be out in about another week or two. Actually, let me check these dates. And the school is sneaking up on me. Okay, yeah, pretty much 2 weeks of school left, man. Man, cause that's honestly why I took off last Friday. Just cause I was like, well, I had some business I need to get taken care of, but also I was like, man, this probably be the last day, one of the last times I can use PTO, during the school year. Because for me, ain't no point in me taking time off when everybody at the house. I don't get no rest, which is gonna once again feed into what I need to talk about today. But yeah, school's about to wrap up, and so the reason why, like I said, I kind of wanted to do this topic today is because I kind of had a moment recently, and it's been a thing for several months, but I didn't really like piece together, what might have been happening or whatever. But I've noticed recently that my memory retention has been kind of lacking in some sense, and what I mean by that is that like I've been more forgetful and different things in recent months, primarily since my older three started middle school, seventh grade this year, and kind of like taking time to look back, it really made me realize how taxing life as a parent, especially in my family, because for those of y'all who might be new here, I'm married. I'm a father of five. I work in IT for in the medical field, um, and like I said, five kids, three boys, twin girls. Oldest boy and twin girls. They're all in seventh grade right now. All three of them do sports all year round. Those three have been doing sports since they were 5 and 6 respectively, which means they've been doing sports for almost 8 years at this point, and they're just now teenagers. Uh, so us having a busy life and stuff is nothing new, but I think I've truly underestimated the realization of how busy life is, because I've been doing this podcast and content stuff for about 2 years at this point. Started March of 2021, and here we are in May 2023, and I really haven't had any problems, like, because those of y'all that that have been following me for a while, or even just go back, if y'all look through my podcast feed or the YouTube videos or whatever, and y'all check the dates on stuff. Of course, more recently I've gotten better about that, but those early days, the days that they're stamped for, like, hey, when this has came out, I was recording stuff either that stuff either was recorded that same day or like the night before, and it went up. So those time windows were very small compared to now, where I still do stuff same day or day after, but I do also have more grace periods, where there is sometimes where I'll record stuff and then I'll just schedule it out for weeks or months from now, like I do now. I have a bunch of stuff already recorded that y'all probably won't see until July and beyond. But yeah, so I've never really had too much of a problem being able to read a bunch of series at the same time, watch a bunch of shows at the same time, and for the most part retain a lot of that information and stuff well enough to where I could just keep going. But recently, I just binge read Go Go Loser Ranger, or Ranger Reject, whichever way y'all want to call it. And I'm planning on trying to do something with somebody on that series. And I finished my binge read, and then some days had passed, and I was like trying to brainstorm. Okay, how do I want to structure that episode, and da 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 da. And then it was like, I was like, crap, I'm forgetting characters' names. I'm forgetting this and that, and it's not like I had went on and was reading something else, whatever. It was just a couple of days had gone by, and then I was like, man, what the heck is going on? And then, like I said, just taking time to just kind of like reflect on when these things have started happening and stuff like that. And then it dawned on me that I think part of my problem has been lack of quality sleep and rest. Um, because just to give a little bit of insight, so my wife, since this school year started, she started working for the school district that our kids go to school with or whatever. But her hours are kind of like the afternoon through late in the evening, which originally sounded good because it's like, okay, she'll have the morning free to do stuff, around the house or run errands or whatever. And then she'll do, like 2 to 6 ish or whatever, whenever the last kid leaves, and stuff. But unfortunately, majority of our kids' activities fall in that window between when I get off of work and when she gets off of work, which means that 99% of the kids' after school activities all fall on me. And so with that being said, I kind of had to make a shift in my life schedule and stuff to where I get up earlier, go to work, which means I get up earlier to go to work earlier so that I can get off of work earlier to go and get the kids everywhere that they need to be and stuff. But I still end up unfortunately going to sleep around the same time, which is like close to midnight, which depending on how things are or whatever, that might give me maybe barely 5 hours of sleep on a normal frequency. But there have been some days lately to where, regardless of how early or late I go to sleep, I freaking wake up at 3 in the morning, can't get back to sleep, and I'm just up until I go to work, and then it's just this cycle. And when I kind of mapped out like a light day, a light day where at least one kid has a practice or something that they have to go to, whatever, I'm doing on average 100 miles driving and stuff. And that is me going from home to work, getting off of work, going to picking up big kids from school, going to pick up little dude from school, coming to the house, then taking whoever to practice, and then coming home. Like I said, that's a light day. A light day. There are days where 2 or 3 of them got different stuff in different locations. So I'm driving, 20 minutes to drop off, 20, 30 minutes just to drop off, to come back, to take somebody else somewhere, to come back, to then go pick up that person, to come back, then I gotta go pick up that other person, and it just adds up. And like I said, it's like we've been doing this for so long, but things just kind of increased at a rate to where, like I said, we just kind of just rolled with it. But it wasn't, like I said, until I started, like, I'm like, man, like, I'm becoming forgetful for certain stuff. Even like some like light stuff at work. Though luckily with work, I do pretty good about having reminders and stuff set up to kind of like keep me reminded and stuff. So, but yeah, man, it's just a reminder that my life is insane. But one thing I will say, and one thing I do try to say often on my show, or even without me saying, just showing, is that creating content as a parent is definitely possible. Like I said, I've been doing this for a couple of years now and stuff. And so it is definitely possible, but there does, you need to give yourself some grace. And oftentimes I forget to do that myself. Like I said, just because we're just like in autopilot. Me and my wife are just go, 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 go. And then, before we realize, it's like, man, like, it's been months since we've even just, snuck away and just had dinner by ourselves type of stuff, whatever, like little stuff like that. Or hey, when's the last time, Robert went to, took, afternoon or time or whatever and go watch the movie or whatever. Like, heck, when I went and saw Guardians of the Galaxy the other week, that was my first time going to the movies in like a couple of months, I believe. And yeah, and it's like making time to even just do simple stuff like play the game or whatever. Um, we have to give ourselves that grace and just kind of like remind ourselves that while obviously our family, our kids and stuff are important, we also can't forget to take care of ourselves, and to also not be afraid to take breaks, and to plan things out and adjust accordingly. Which I would say I have for the most part kind of made adjustments here and there because, like I said, I've slowed down a lot on the frequency of content I've put out. Um, just for the sake of putting stuff out because I've kind of realized that if I want to do this for a long time, then I need to do it uh, in a more strategic manner. And I kind of always use this saying that I'm using my the cross country method because for those of y'all who don't know, I used to run cross country back in the day. I don't feel like getting them down, but I still have my old stuff from high school, my whole outfit with all my medals and stuff, and my jacket pocket or whatever, sitting right above me up here. But with cross country, it's not speed is a factor, but it's also more so endurance and pacing, and so that's kind of why I've been recording stuff and then just sitting on it. So I've still been like going through Villain Saga or whatever. I've already read 3 books and I've already recorded for 2 of them months ago, and I'm just sitting on them or whatever. Because I'm trying to, like I said, get more organized to where I have stuff coming out at a regular frequency for y'all, for the listeners and watchers, but in a manner to where I'm not burning myself out and just to kind of give myself a little bit of a buffer, just because, like I said, our life is not the norm. Like I said, even just for for just being a family in general with multiple kids, but especially having 3 very active student athletes that require us to do travel not just around the city, the metroplex, but we're doing now we're doing nationwide travel where we're traveling to other states and stuff, because like I talked about before, heck, in the last just like handful of months, we went to Phoenix, Arizona, we went to Memphis, Tennessee. I'm pretty sure I think we got like Vegas and Florida and some other stuff on the calendar for the summer. And keep in mind that is just for one kid. Because years past, summertime is normally for my oldest daughter and her track stuff. So that's not factoring in what travel we might have to do for her in track. And then my other daughter with basketball, where we finally found her a good team, and so who knows what traveling stuff they might do, whatever. Like I said, that and that is just 3 of the 5. And now my youngest, my baby boy Vash, he's coming like on his own, not in relation to like, oh, we're at the game or an event or whatever. He's saying this like, no, we just here at the house, and he's just been coming up to me sometimes, be like, Dad, I want to play basketball like Jaden and Janai. And I'm like, oh no. Like, part of me is like, yes, I'm excited because, like I said, my older ones were like 5-6 years old when they started doing this stuff, but it's like reflecting on how long I've been doing this. Like I said, like we've been doing the parents raising child athletes thing for, like I said, 7-8 years, and the kids just now became teenagers. So we potentially still have a handful of years more, and that's just speaking for just middle school through high school stuff potentially. That doesn't even count what might happen beyond that, and then starting over with with a 5-year-old, and then having to go through potentially 10 plus more years of this on top of what we've already done. It's just like, it just makes my head spin sometimes. But like I said, I have been encouraged, like I said, with with how my content and stuff has been doing lately, to where it's like, okay, I'm doing something right. And so that's why I want to try to continue to take my time, plan stuff out, still, record and just bank on stuff, just put stuff into the content vault for now, for me to just put out um, at a regular pace down the road. But yeah, so we'll see in a couple of weeks, like once school is out, and because of course since my wife works for the school district, I mean that she'll be out for the summer as well, so she'll be able to kind of start back, you know, balancing out, the weekday activities and stuff, so it's not all on me. And we'll see how things go as far as like me getting rest, and if I notice my memory retention and stuff like that gets better, in the coming months and stuff. But yeah, like I said, it was just a very weird realization to have of like, man, like how why am I not able to remember that much about these series and stuff. So but because I'm like, okay, I know I'm getting older, but at the same time, I'm only 33, and I was just doing this, several months back to especially last year. But yeah, it's just like you know, sometimes you have to slow down and take time to kind of like look at the larger picture and kind of like piece together what a potential pattern might be, because sometimes it might not be nothing super worth freaking out. Sometimes it's like, oh, okay, I just this has been a ongoing thing, or something that's been leading up to this has been building up, but I just hadn't really noticed or paid attention to or whatever. And so that is definitely something, like I said, just to any parents out there or people in general that are potentially thinking about getting into content creation and stuff. Like I said, just know that, hey, you can do it. Yes, there are millions of people who do content and videos and yada yada yada, but there is always room for more people, because we are all unique, we are all different. um, and we all can provide a new perspective on something. Because, like I said, hey, me being a dad, a family man, I work in IT and stuff, whatever. There's sometimes certain ways I see different storylines or characters and stuff, whatever, just because of my perspective of being a dad and stuff, compared to somebody else who might not have kids or might not have a family in general. They might interpret a series or something, whatever, differently from me, or just get something different out of a story than I do. And that's why it's like, hey, there's room for all of us. But like I said, but just kind of just you know listen to your mind, listen to your body, because those things do talk to you. It's just a matter of you paying attention and you realizing, that something is being said, or hey, you feel a little bit weird, you feel different. Listen to that feeling, whatever, because like I said, like sometimes our bodies talk to us when it's like, hey, something's going on, we need to talk and stuff. So, but yeah, but like I said, just be encouraged. Like, hey, you can do this, but like I said, you might just have to go about it in your own way. Because it's like I can't keep up with every show, for every season. Like shout out to Polo and Tel over on Mike Check Waifu podcast, Mike Check Waifu podcast, because they specialize in covering seasonal anime and stuff like that. Or just different shows that might specialize in certain things or whatever. It's like, hey, it is okay if you can't keep up with everything, because there's just so much media, so much content going on in the world, that it's not possible to really like keep up with everything. And so that's kind of why, like I said, slowed down I've slowed down me trying to multi juggle multiple series at the same time, whatever. Of course, I still read my weekly chapters of One Piece and My Hero Academia and Jujutsu Kaisen and everything else, stuff like that or whatever. But as far as like me binge reading multiple long series or whatever, that I've kind of had to chill on, and it's like, and to also stop myself from buying more and more manga and games and different stuff to where, especially if it's like, hey, I'm not even gonna be able to get to that anytime soon. I got stuff on this shelf that's been here for that. There are some things that I bought my first year of doing this podcast 2 years ago that I still haven't read. Some stuff is still in the plastic, from the day I bought it 2 years ago. And it's like, yeah, Rob, you need to just slow down and keep those coins in the pocket for now, and you'll get to that stuff whenever you get to it later. Like the same thing with games. Oh, I bought all these games, and then it's like, by the time months, if not years later, you finally get around to it, the game is on sale, or they've got like a bundle with all the DLC and stuff for way cheaper than what you bought it for day one. And it's like, man, I'm just not playing this a year later. And if I would have just waited, could have saved a lot of money. But yeah, but like I said, just know that there is room for all of us, and take things at your own pace. Also, do not be afraid. Do not be afraid to pivot and to change things up, to adjust to how your life and stuff is changing. Because like I said, like, hey, how things were going 2 years ago when I started this versus now, it's like, yes, my kids were doing sports back then, my kids are doing sports now, but just the pace and frequency of stuff, like I said, I've gotten a promotion and stuff in my job in the last couple of years, and my wife has started a different job in the last couple of years. And there's just so many different dynamics and stuff that's going on with that or whatever. So, but yeah. So I'm like I said, I'm just trying to learn to adjust and to slow things down in a way to where, okay, hey, let me just focus on maybe one long binge read. Focus on playing one game right now. Watching just a few shows, that are kind of current or whatever, and then everything else, hey, I'll get to it when I get to it, because at the end of the day, most of the stuff, there is no timestamp on this. Of course, hey, it's cool when you can catch the wave and you can, put out content that is quote unquote new and relevant. Like, oh, hey, Zelda Breath of the or Tears of the Kingdom is out this weekend or whatever. Hey, here's my review or my impressions on it or whatever. Of course, sometimes you want to be part of those conversations. Um, just to get that boost because everybody's searching for it or whatever. But there, if you do good quality content, then and you have something meaningful to say, or even just you're having fun doing what you do, then people will find your stuff regardless of if it's on release day within the first week, or if it's 5 years from now. Because there is stuff, which, like I said, I don't really look at my numbers that deeply that often or whatever, but every now and then I'll like browse through and be like, okay, what stuff is people listening to on the podcast feeds lately, or what videos or people watching on my channel lately or whatever. And sometimes it just be the most random things. It's like, okay, hey, shout out to the person that's going through and listening to all of my 20th Century Boys recaps, or my Vinland Saga stuff, or the one person every now and then that goes back and listens to Karate Survivor. And it's just like, hey, people will find you, and will find your content and stuff in due time. Like I said, it's just a mix of, like I said, just having fun doing it, and like I said, don't get so caught up in the numbers and stuff, whatever. Because like I said, when I first started, whatever, all day, every day, and I was definitely getting way less listens than what I do now. But I'm just have a tab open on one of my monitors at work, whatever, and just like all throughout the day I'm refreshing. Like, oh yeah, one more listen. Yeah, I got one more, and it's like, okay, you up here, rah rahing. Which, hey, shout out to the people that was here in the early days, getting me, those few listens here and there. I definitely appreciate y'all and stuff. But it's like I said, it's just like I didn't need to be obsessing and looking at the numbers and stuff like that or whatever. And it's like, honestly, I prefer doing stuff like I do now, to where it's like, hey, I record my stuff, I upload it, do my thumbnails or whatever, and hit publish. It goes out into the world, and I go about my day or I go to bed. Because honestly, that's kind of a fun thing to do too. Is like, I schedule something to go live at midnight or whatever, and then when I wake up the next morning, I'm like, ooh, let's see what content clause left under the tree for me this morning. It's like, oh, dope, I got a few listens this morning. Or some people, in the middle of the night, or people that, hey, they might be working overnight shifts, or people that are on the whole other side of the planet tuned in or whatever. That stuff is fun. Or like I said, hey, I haven't uploaded in a while, and I'm logging in to work on some stuff. I'm like, oh, cool. I've gone up a few hundred, or that one random time with the what was it, the Villains Are Destined to Die review, like got 7,000 over the weekend. That one time, that one anomaly, which I still don't know. I have some stuff I want to test a theory on with that someday, but someday I'm gonna test out something with that just to see, was that a one time fluke or what. But anywho, I hope this ramble was useful to somebody out there. It's what, 5:45 now, so I've been going about 30 minutes. Um, so I guess I'll just kind of briefly touch on a couple things I've been doing lately or whatever. Which some of the stuff I'm gonna go into deeper detail in the next episode or whatever. So, but my wife, she's been playing through Dead Island 2. She's still been loving that. I plan on having her on a future episode to talk about her thoughts on that. I've been playing through Star Wars Jedi Survivor. That game has been super fun, super dope. I'm gonna talk on that more as well in the future. But one thing I will say is that for the most part, I haven't had too many crazy technical difficulties and stuff. And the game just continues to grow and build upon itself. I'm always getting new powers, new abilities and stuff for traversing and combat and stuff. So all in all, that game has been super fun. I know a lot of people out there, of course, like I said, are playing Zelda Tears of the Kingdom over this past weekend. I hope y'all had, or I hope y'all are having fun playing that and stuff. I'm not gonna be getting it anytime soon, because I never really, I didn't even finish Breath of the Wild. Though granted, my wife kind of took over the Switch back then, because cause the Switch and Breath of the Wild came out during those my wife's early pregnancy months, because we found out around the time Zelda came out that she was pregnant with our baby boy Vash. Uh, and she ended like, oh, let me try this new Zelda or whatever, and I pretty much never saw my Switch and Zelda again for many months. Uh, and stuff. So I've just been really just enjoying watching people's streams or clips and stuff of people playing Tears of the Kingdom and stuff. But yeah, I'm trying to think. I think that's pretty much it as far as like gaming wise. Um, TV shows and stuff. I haven't really watched much like regular TV. Anime wise, I'm only keeping with a handful of shows. Skip and Loafer is such a heartwarming show, heartwarming anime. Uh, that it's just feel good. That and Insomniacs After School, both of those just they are just good for the health of your heart. Um, it's just something so pure and innocent about those two shows that I just love. On the opposite end of the spectrum, two shows that are chaotic and stressful sometimes. Hell's Paradise and Heavenly Delusion. Those are keeping me entertained with the mystery of what's going on in those shows. Um, and yeah, I'm trying to think. Those shows. Now stuff like Oshinoko and Demon Slayer. I haven't really been keeping up with those super close or whatever because I like Demon Slayer. I've read all of that. It's been 3 years ago now or whatever. So I'm not as in big of a rush to watch those because I've already read it. But I do check out either I know I'm still watching myself or I might just watch it via some reaction channels and stuff with that show. And same thing with like I said Oshinoko. I'm mostly caught up with the manga. I thought I might be like a few weeks behind, but that's another one to where I enjoy those first couple of episodes, whatever, and I'll probably just binge it when it's all done. Uh, Mashal has been a fun watch. It's just a goofy series, which that's another one that I've read way past where the anime and stuff is years ago. But I appreciate how they have like this weird kind of like hip hop and beatboxing uh, music and stuff in that show, or whatever. But it's just a fun, silly time watching that show. And reading, like I said, my main obsession, which I'm gonna probably do like a separate thing on this at some point, aside from the one I'm gonna do with a guest. But but Go Go Loser Ranger, or like I said, as a lot of people on the internet call it a Ranger Reject. This has been a surprisingly good read, and I truly understand uh, all the hype and stuff that has gone into the series. Because just to give a little bit of a general synopsis of this, is basically, as you can probably tell by the name or whatever, this is kind of like a take on like the Power Rangers slash uh Sentai, fighters and stuff, whatever. But basically, the main character, think about it as like the what are they called, the putty, or whatever, like the kind of like a little underlings or whatever in Power Rangers. Imagine if so they can kind of like shapeshift and stuff, whatever. And so one of them basically shapeshifts, and what's his name? Fighter D. One of them shapeshifts and basically infiltrates the Rangers, and we kind of follow him on his journey, on his path to try to get revenge and to try to take out these Rangers and stuff from within. And one thing I'll say is that this series, nobody is safe. Like characters legit get killed off, and I was like, oh, okay, this is the type of time y'all are on. So, but like I said, I'll talk about them more in a separate thing in the future. But that has been like my current obsession. Also, and I talked about this in like a separate like little like mini video or episode I did last week. But of course, I've been going through and just like browsing and like favoriting different series on the new Viz Manga app. And stuff. So that's kind of been neat. Finding stuff that I've been wanting to read for a while, which that's why I had this stack here. A lot of these series are on the app. Uh, but also getting a lot of recommendations from different people. Like shout out to Vampy, who she runs the Shojose World Twitter account, and she has been recommending some series and stuff from there. So I've been going through and favoriting some stuff. One of which is it's a series called actually let me see what the full let me see, because it's kind of got like two parts. The prequel QQ Sweeper, I've been reading that, which is a prequel to a series called Queen's Quality. Um, and that it's basically about supernatural cleaners who can literally sweep trouble away. And so basically, it's like these like people who are cleaners who basically kind of like go into from I've only read like a handful of chapters so far, but like they go into people's minds and basically like help get rid of like bad thoughts and toxicity and different things like that or whatever. So it's kind of weird to try to explain or whatever, but it's basically like a supernatural type of series or whatever. So, but I've enjoyed the handful of chapters I've read so far. Uh, but yeah, but aside from that's mainly it for reading and watching and what I've been playing and stuff. Uh, Man, I don't have the time to go into it right now, but I'm trying to think. Do I want to talk about any of this? I'll just say things are going crazy in One Piece right now. No spoilers, but there's some dope things going on in One Piece. Um, we're building towards a big showdown in Jujutsu Kaisen right now. And some things are happening in My Hero Academia right now as well, but I don't think Horikoshi is going to go through what I would like for him to go through. I don't think he has the guts to pull the trigger on that now. Hey, if Gege Akutami from Jujutsu Kaisen was writing My Hero, then there might be some stuff there might be some well beings for some characters to worry about. But I don't think Horikoshi's gonna go through with that situation. And if you're current, you'll know what I'm alluding to. But yeah, those are primarily it. Of course, I have a lot of stuff I need to catch up on, but like I said, I will get to things as I get to them. I was very proud of myself for my restraint. The other day while my son had practice, I had wanted to Books a Million, which actually was my first time going into any bookstore in literally 2 to 3 months. But the fact that I went in, I saw several things that I was like, man, the newest volume of this, or there's been a couple of new volumes out for certain series where I'm like, man, I really want to pick this up, but also remembering all of this stuff I've bought in the last like handful of months, and I'm like, yeah, Robert, no, you know, there's some stuff I want to check out again and do updates on and stuff, whatever, because there's some stuff that is like some of my highest trafficked episodes or whatever. It's like, oh, there's more of those out, but it's like, hey, I'll get to that stuff. I want to kind of try to go through and knock out, because I have some series that I have like the full set of that are complete that I want to like go through, read those, especially like the ones that are like shorter, like Lost Lad London, that I want to go back and finish reading, because that's only 3 freaking volumes. So I want to get those knocked out and some other ones. But yeah, but all in all, like I said, I'm just rambling, and it's almost 6 o'clock, so I need to start getting ready for work and get my butt out the door. But thank y'all so much for listening and or watching. Um, like I said, I appreciate all the love and support I've been getting, like I said, out the blue, even without me doing anything really. It is appreciated. And like I said, I have some things in the works, both solo, different topics I want to discuss, different guests I want to have on, different series and stuff I want to review, like I said, from manga to TV shows to anime to games. Lots of discussions to be had. Lots of great things on the horizon for different series. Gaming wise, man, stuff is about to go crazy. Cause what they just did like one last open beta for Diablo 4 this past weekend. There's a Street Fighter 6 open demo coming up in a couple of weeks. All of this leading up to at the beginning in June. We got Final Fantasy 16, Street Fighter 6, Diablo 4. I feel like there's something else big up in there too, but yeah, lots of stuff coming. Of course, all these summer gaming events is on the horizon. I'm excited to see the Xbox and Starfield showcase. I'm excited for this heavily rumored PlayStation showcase that seems to be bubbling up, because like we're starting to get leaks and stuff of like, hey, they're gonna be, you know, we might be seeing the new Mortal Kombat there. There might be a new Resident Evil being teased. There might be Metal Gear Solid 3 remake or something, and Spider-Man 2, and so many other things, like rumors bubbling and stuff. So I would expect this PlayStation Showcase thing to be imminent and stuff. So, but all in all, hey, lots of great things out there to consume. And last thing, me and my family, we've also had fun watching these NBA playoffs and stuff as well. Of course, y'all know me. I don't talk about any sports really on here aside from, you know, my what my kids play and stuff. But it's been a pretty solid NBA playoffs and stuff because it's the first time in years that I've watched this early in the playoffs. I usually just wait until like the conference finals or the NBA finals, but there's been some good basketball being played, and I'm kind of getting reintroduced to a lot of players that I've known for a while, as well as some newer faces that I never even knew or I've heard of, but I never actually got to see who the person was or how they play, whatever. So that's been some fun family bonding, us watching the different games and stuff, whatever lately. So, but yeah, and I'm trying to think. And last thing, that's just like a little funny little side story, but so today, going to do laundry like I've been doing almost every Sunday for the last like 6 years during there. Going to do laundry and just minding my business or whatever, and all of a sudden I hear a voice that says, "Is that the legendary Robert?" And I'm like, who is this? Because for better or worse, I don't have many adult friends. As far as I like, hey, that people that I hang out with or whatever, and especially nobody that would call me by that from, you know, nobody that I have met in the last decade really has given me a nickname of any type. So when I hear that, I'm like, okay, this is somebody from the past. Who is this? So, and he'll probably never even hear this or whatever, because I don't know. He probably don't even know I even do podcasts or whatever. But shout out to Titus. Those of y'all from back home in Jasper that, you know, grew up with me or whatever, y'all would know who that name is. But he is somebody. He was a class ahead of me. He graduated a year ahead of me, but he moved over into the area recently, whatever, and he's been within the DFW Metroplex, he said, for a handful of years now, but he literally just moved into my area within like the last like couple of weeks. And so just the fact that he happened to just be hanging out in that area and saw me and recognized me, I was like, yo. You know, it's like it feels like one of those moments like in a movie, TV show, anime or whatever. You know, it's like you know, it's like my what's it called, epithet. You know, it's like Gabby Maru the Hollow, or you know, whatever different, you know, nicknames or whatever characters and stuff get or whatever. But it's like the legendary Robert. I'm like, huh, you know, how did you find me? So yeah, so I just had to give a little shout out to Titus on that. But anyway, let me get out of here. It is past 6 o'clock, so I'm just ahead of work. But hopefully I'll, you know, maybe I'll work on this and get this uploaded and stuff for y'all sometime today. But as always, thank you so much for listening and or watching. You can find me everywhere at Dad Needs to Talk. Feel free to hit me up, you know, on all social media platforms. Or you can always email me at dnttpodcast@gmail.com. Or hey, comment on the YouTube video if you're here. But like I said, I definitely appreciate all the love and support. And like I said, your boy got stuff cooking up for y'all in the coming weeks and months ahead. So be on the lookout for new stuff. And yeah. And so as I always say, And also, like I said, once again, shout out to all the parents out there, man, and everybody in the community in general. Like I said, you can do this. You know, you can create, you can be creative, regardless of what your work schedule is, life schedule, having kids, family, whatever. It is possible. But like I said, you just might have to just make adjustments and plan accordingly, to be able to try to juggle both. Because that's the little thing I'll say is that that there are some times where I've kind of been like not trying to sound like, oh, I'm Mr. Big Shot or whatever, but like part of my mind, and some way sometimes it'd be like somebody who, to my knowledge, of course, I don't know everybody's life and stuff, but sometimes somebody like, hey, we're taking a break, or I'm not doing content for a while, I'm tired from work, whatever. And it's like it's like, hey, they're single, they ain't got no kids, da 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 da, and it's like, man, I got 5 kids, I'm working, I can do all this stuff, whatever. But at the same time, it's also a thing of like, well, everybody is not the same. We all have different levels of what we can and can't do. And it's also a thing of like, well, just because you can do this, maybe you shouldn't. And so, different people in the community that take breaks and stuff regularly, regardless of if they have kids, family, single, whatever their life situation is or whatever. Um, a lot of people have told me that, like, hey, maybe it's not that, hey, they could be doing more. It's like, hey, maybe I should take a step back and kind of reassess the fact that, like, hey, okay, yeah, you are able to do this, but should you be doing all of this? And it just kind of like really made me like reassess myself, over these last couple of years or whatever, of like, okay, yes, you can do it, and I've proven to myself and to others that, yes, Robert can get stuff out there or whatever, but it's like, at what cost? I'm up here, I be tired, I'm up late at night doing stuff, and just to record stuff and get it up the next morning for what? you know so I'm not making a living off of this. I'm just doing this out of the love and passion from my heart. So it's like, hey, take it easy, man. Slow down, Robert, and just enjoy the ride. And so with that being said, I've done like a million false endings, but truly, like I always say, treat yourself to something nice. Read some manga, watch some anime and TV, play some play some video games, and live your best life. And with that being said, your boy is out. Y'all be awesome and take care, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.